What's going on, everyone? So the NBA season hasn't even officially ended, and we haven't even gotten into the offseason, and we already have the Kyrie Irving carousel. And what a journey it's been, and what a journey it's going to be. And it's not going to come to an end until Kyrie either re-signs with Dallas, goes to the Lakers, or goes elsewhere, or like the Lakers end up doing a deal that basically prevents any possibility of Kyrie Irving going to Lakers. For the last year, all we have seen and heard is Kyrie is going to the Lakers, and he wants to be a Laker. He wants to play with LeBron James. And now look, I don't without a doubt believe for a second that he wants to go to Lakers and wants to play for LeBron James, but he also wants to get paid. And the best course of action for that is the Dallas Mavericks. And until Dallas decides to pay him the money, we're going to continue to hear this back and forth. And I mean, in the last 24 hours, we have just had a crazy carousel when it comes to Kyrie Irving. Reports that Kyrie is still going to the Lakers, that he might take a discount. Then you get reports that, the Lakers aren't interested in Kyrie anymore. I don't buy that for a second. The Lakers did not make several offers for Kyrie Irving if they're not interested. I just think they're only interested at the right price. Plus, do I believe that LeBron James is more interested than anything? Absolutely. I think LeBron James is the one that is most interested. But I think the Lakers do have some interest in Kyrie Irving. And then you hear the reports that no, Kyrie, he wants to stay a Mavs. He has expressed constantly that he wants to be a Maverick and he wants to re-sign with the Mavericks. But the Mavericks don't want to pay him a max contract, but he wants a max contract. And Dallas has its issues and its reservations about giving him a max contract, which is completely understandable. And look, the Mavs went and traded for Kyrie Irving and became worse. They were a worse team. Now, that's not Kyrie Irving's fault. Kyrie Irving was actually really good for the Mavericks, really good, both on and off the court for the Mavs. The Mavs were actually better with Kyrie than they were with Luka. But a lot of that was they traded all of their defensive guys to go get Kyrie Irving. So now it's Mavs are kind of in this like purgatory, right? You have this back and forth with Kyrie Irving. The best course of action is to probably pay him. Pay him, lock him in. You have him and Luka. Now you just need to build the proper team around him, and you probably can win an NBA championship, right? That's the idea. That's the goal. And Luka, with a bunch of role guys, was able to get at least to the Western Conference Finals. So him and Kyrie should be able to get maybe there again. And then you never know. Chips fall the right way. All of a sudden you win an NBA championship. And Dallas wins its second, right? That would be great for Dallas. But the other side of it, if Dallas, they didn't really give up much for Kyrie Irving. If they let Kyrie Irving go, then they would have a full max contract. Now, the problem is there's not really much out there to trade. Like, what are you going to do? Sign James Harden? Like, Luka and James Harden is probably worse than Luka and Kyrie Irving. Do you go look at maybe like a Chris Middleton or something like that? Maybe try to get a Chris Middleton plus another piece. That could be a possibility. That could be something they'd explore. But then you hear all the reports of LeBron James going to the Dallas Mavericks. And first off, that's not happening, right? If Kyrie really wants to play with LeBron James, the only way for it to happen is he goes to the Lakers. It's the only option. It's the only way that that's going to work. LeBron gets Kyrie to come, whether it's via sign and trade, whether it's Kyrie taking a pay cut and signing with the Lakers. The Lakers could get to about $14 million in salary. Let's say Dallas is only offering Kyrie like $18 million. Does Kyrie say, hey, I'll take the $4 million haircut. I'll get more than that in brand deals and endorsements, plus whatever LeBron James can hook up for me. And I'll just take the discount and go sign with the Lakers and play with LeBron and AD and try to win a championship. That's a possibility. LeBron going to the Dallas Mavericks is not happening. Dallas has zero assets to trade for LeBron James, and they're not going to trade Luka. Even though there have been some reports about that, it's not happening. There's no way Mark Cuban's going to do that. That would be foolish. If you're the Lakers, you do that. If you want LeBron and both, you want the 17th and 29th pick too, here you go. You're welcome, right? Because now you got Luka for the next 10 years, right? You're good. But that's not going to happen. LeBron James going to the Dallas Mavericks is a complete pipe dream. But what I think it is I think that this is a attention leverage type deal for Dallas to make a play. Look, I'm trying to recruit guys. I want to be here. I don't want to go to the Lakers and, play in LA. I want to play in Dallas. But I need my money. I need to be paid, right? I'm trying to get LeBron here. I'm the key. Sign me. Give me the max deal. That's what I think this is. I think the other part of this is like, hey, Lakers, like, I want to be paid, right? So come get me, right? If you want me, come get me type thing. I think it's just this carousel, this back and forth, this teasing that we've seen that just continues to go nowhere, right? It's those friends that, tease each other and you can feel the tension and it's like, just get together already, and they just keep playing with each other to the point where like they both end up in a new relationship. That's what we're seeing with Kyrie and the Lakers and Kyrie and LeBron, right? Like Kyrie is having commitment issues. LeBron wants him to commit. Let's just make this relationship happen. It's not happening, right? And Luka's just kind of low key chilling, like, what is going on, right? Like Dallas is never in the headlines. Dallas never being talked about, nothing like that. Kyrie Irving comes here and now it's just like all this just drama and chaos. Like, I'd love to like just hear what Luka thinks of all this stuff, right? I'm sure he's just like, what is going on? Like, what is all this? But this is the effect, right? This is the Kyrie effect. And is it possible that Kyrie ends up going to Lakers and when all is said and done, Kyrie ultimately gets what he wants. LeBron ultimately gets what he wants. The Lakers get what they want. Now they're competing for championships and they're off to the races. Very possible. It is very possible. I don't think it's very likely. I think it's more of one of those things where it's one of those things that are going to continue to be talked about, draw some attention, and get some eyeballs. It's good conversation for the offseason. It keeps narratives and stories going. It keeps, all these networks thriving. It gives content creators like myself fuel to talk about and just videos to make and have a little back and forth that's going to get some attention. Like, it's those kind of things. And that's fine, right? Like, especially once the season's over, until like the real like trademark and like everything starts kicking off after the draft, right? There's not really anything. And that's kind of what I think the whole LeBron to Dallas thing went. And you hear the reports that like, oh, like if LeBron was to leave the Lakers, he'd be interested in Dallas. No, he wouldn't. Like, one, he's not leaving the Lakers. Two, why would he go to Dallas of all places? Like, if LeBron was going to leave, he's going to go to a place where he really can be a contender, right? It's going to be the Warriors deal or something like that, like what we saw. Or he'll go back to Cleveland or something. But that's not happening. His son just signed with USC so LeBron could go to his games and watch his games and they could stay in LA. Savannah isn't going to want to go to Dallas over Los Angeles. The whole reason LeBron went to the Lakers to begin with was because of the family dynamic and post-NBA career. LeBron didn't go to the Lakers for sole basketball reasons. He went to the Lakers for brand and money and to become a billionaire and to have his kids in Los Angeles and all that stuff. Like, that's what it was all about. And it worked, right? Bronny went from being a guy that people that thought was going to have to be a 4-year guy in college to a guy that is probably going to be a top 10 pick now, right? Because he got more attention, got more highlighted, all of that stuff, right? It's just, that's what this is. And Kyrie's been this just, he's been the kind of fuel to the fire. It's the Lakers. It's LeBron. That's the narrative, right? Like, if Kyrie wanted to go to Sacramento or something like that, right? This wouldn't be a conversation, right? I mean, there's rumors about Kyrie going to Phoenix, which that is something that could be likely, right? Lots of talks about Ayton for Kyrie type deal. That could be interesting, right? Like, that actually makes more sense than the Lakers in a lot of ways, right? Gets to go play with Kevin Durant. Phoenix is trying to go all in. Phoenix's new owner would probably pay him a max. All of that. That makes sense. Okay, I could see that. Right? But you don't hear that as much as you hear about the Lakers because it's LeBron, it's the Lakers, It's the reunion. It's all the points that make a good story. And that's what this is, a good story. More likely than not, Kyrie Irving is going to stay with the Dallas Mavericks. He is probably going to ride this season with Luka and the Dallas Mavericks. My guess is Dallas probably gives him like a 1+1. I don't think they sign him long term unless he's willing to take like 15, 18 million a year. I think what happens is they kind of meet in the middle. And they say, we'll give you a max this year and we'll give you a 2-year deal, max both years, but we have a team option on a non-guaranteed year 2. So if things don't work out this year or things just end up becoming a disaster or whatever, they just want to go a different direction, right, and free up a max spot again, they can. That's my guess. That's what I think ends up happening is Kyrie Irving stays with the Mavs on like, a 1+1 type deal. And it'll be a team option rather than a player option. Because, again, if you let Kyrie go, yeah, you have $40 million. What are you replacing that with? Nothing. Like, there's nothing out there. Like I said, a Chris Middleton or something like that. It's just silly, right? You might as well just pay Kyrie at that point. But if you go and you do Kyrie on like a team option or something like that, right? Well, now you could use Kyrie, see how it goes for a year. If it doesn't work, then you just waive him on a non-guaranteed deal. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, now we got a full spot and this guy's available or that guy's available, right? Like, okay, here we go. Jaylen Brown's available. Let's go sign Brown, right? Like something like that, right? That's what I think very likely ends up happening. But just strap in, get ready, because this is, in my opinion, this is probably only the beginning with this Kyrie to Lakers saga. And it's like every other day you hear some new information, some new news. If something like with real legs starts happening, then we'll talk about it. We'll break it down, have those discussions. But I just wanted to kind of talk about this whole carousel because it's just free agency hasn't started unless Kyrie to the Lakers has began, right? Like that's the whole thing. So, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Like I said, at least it's entertainment. Give us stuff to talk about. Give us stuff to, kind of be opinionated about. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think he goes to the Lakers? Think he stays with the Mavs? What do you think ends up happening? Love to hear it. Let me know.